taxonomical classification is not so important, so I am switching into a morphological classification. In morphological classification, we have a yeast form. First, we have a yeast form like fungi. The yeast form fungi are unicellular. The shape of the yeast is a spherical or a elliptical. So, it may has a spherical shape or a elliptical shape, and they reproduce or they divide by a binary fission or they divide by a fission process or budding process. And when we observe the yeast-like fungi, when we observe the yeast form fungi in a culture media, it forms a creamy colonies in the culture media. It forms a creamy colonies in a culture media. And the example is we have a Cryptococcus neoformans. Cryptococcus neoformans. And next we have a yeast-like fungi. Yeast-like fungi. Why we are saying this as a yeast form and this as a yeast-like fungi is yeast-like fungi are some part of it is present as a spherical and some part present as a hyphae. They contain a yeast form with a spherical or elliptical shape, and some part it contain as a mycelium. So it may has a yeast form fungi and they may contain hyphae. So these are the hyphae. So some part of a fungi is like a yeast form, and some part may be a mycelium. So this is the reason why they called as a yeast-like fungi. And next we have a moulds form. Next we have a moulds or a filamentous fungus. The fungus which form a hyphae is called as a moulds. So the fungus which produce a hyphae is called as a moulds form. They may be a septate or a aseptate. The septate which contain a septa and aseptate does not contain a septa. So moulds-like fungi fungus is the fungus which form a hyphae is called as a moulds, and the hyphae may be septate or a non-septate. So this is a septate fungus and this is a non-septate fungus. And in moulds we have again two types of fungus. First we have a aerial mycelium. Aerial mycelium. Now what is a mycelium? Group of hyphae together form a mycelium. So if this is a hyphae, this is a hyphae. Now group of hyphae, these all hyphae together form as a mycelium. Now in moulds we have again a aerial mycelium and a vegetative mycelium. Aerial mycelium, the mycelium which grows above the surface is a aerial mycelium. It grows on the surface. And the second one we have a vegetative mycelium. We have a vegetative mycelium. Vegetative mycelium which grows in a culture media is called as a vegetative mycelium. So the vegetative mycelium, it grows in a culture medium. They may produce they may divide asexually or sexually, and they produce spores in the vegetative mycelium. The examples of a vegetative mycelium are Aspergillus, Rhizopus. So we have examples which is Aspergillus, Rhizopus. Next, fourth one is a dimorphic fungi. It present as a yeast or in a hyphae form. It present as a yeast form in a host, or in a culture media. When we culture the fungus, it form as a yeast form, and it present as a hyphae in a soil. In soil, it present as a hyphae at a 22 degrees to 25 degrees centigrade, and here it present at a 37 degrees. So dimorphic fungi, as the name only says that it present in a two morphological forms. One morphological form is a yeast and the other morphological form is a hyphae. So it may present as a hyphae or it present as a yeast. So these are the morphological classification with the yeast form, yeast-like fungus, molds, or a dimorphic fungi. And next we have a fungal classification. Fungal disease classification. In fungal disease classification, the infection which is caused by the fungus is called as a mycosis. So this is a term which is used for the disease which is caused by the fungus. Now we have a superficial mycosis. Superficial mycosis. Superficial mycosis, the mycosis which only act on the outermost layer of the skin, is a superficial mycosis. Only to the outer, which infect only the outermost layer of a skin. And next we have a cutaneous mycosis. Cutaneous mycosis, now the infection has entered somewhat deeper into the epidermis. So here we can observe the infection of epidermis. And in subcutaneous mycosis, this may be caused by a low pathogenic fungus. It is caused by a low pathogenic fungus. The infection may spread up to the subcutaneous. And fourth, we have a systemic mycosis. Now this has reached the fungus may infect the systems of the body. Example, the infection may form in the lungs when we inhale the air from the outside. When we inhale the air which is contaminated by the fungus, then it may cause us the systemic mycosis. Opportunistic fungus, normally this fungus may not be infected to the people, but sometimes it may infect the people suddenly in immunocompromised immunodeficiency. The person who has less immunity, or the person who are taking antibiotics. So the opportunistic fungus may infect those people. We can see in the immunocompromised people, or we can see in the antibiotics, the person who is taking an antibiotic. And we have examples for this. Some examples we have in superficial mycosis, dermophytes are the examples. And in systemic mycosis, we have an example of mycetoma, sporotrichosis, and other examples. And in opportunistic mycosis, we have example of aspergillosis and zygomyces. These are the fungal disease classification. And in questions, mostly the examiner may ask about the deep mycosis. Deep mycosis is a very important question. Deep mycosis. Deep mycosis is asked for a 10 marks. So what is a deep if examiner asks about a deep mycosis, you have to write about the systemic mycosis and the opportunistic mycosis. So deep mycosis contain a systemic part and the opportunistic mycosis. So this is about the classification of the mycology, and based on morphology and disease and taxonomy. And we have completed the classification of mycology. And if you have any doubts, let me know in the comment section. And please like, share and subscribe to our channel Paramedical STEM. And thank you. For upcoming notifications, click the bell icon. And thank you.